Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today in this video we are going to learn about the ceiling function in Salesforce, and we are going to learn this concept how we can use the ceiling function in formula field in Salesforce Lightning as well as a classic interface. So let's proceed and firstly discuss what does we mean by the ceiling function. So this ceiling function is one of the mathematical function of a Salesforce, and it is used to carry out the mathematical calculation. It is used when you want to round a numerical value up to the nearest integer away from 0 if it is a negative, and the resultant rounded value is larger than or equal to the original value always. So let's see the syntax of this function first. So here you can see that the syntax is given on your screen, and here you can see we pass the number field formula as a parameter, and these are the value for which you want to try to round up the value, and the value of the parameter can be any field or constant number or the complex formula. Now let's move and learn how we can use the ceiling function in Salesforce Lightning. So here I open up my Salesforce account, and I am on my main home setup page of the Lightning interface. If you are not on that, you need to click on the gear icon, and then after you need to click on the setup option that is given here, and this gear icon is located on the top of the side. After that, once you reached on the main home setup page, you need to click on the object manager that is given on the navigation bar, and once you click on that, it will take you to the page where you will get the list of all the objects that are present in Salesforce. Either it is a custom or the standard one. It's time to choose up the object on which you want to use the ceiling function. So let's see example for the order in which I want to calculate the order production. So here I search for the order in the quick find box given on the right side, and once I get the result I click on that, and it will take me to the order manager page, and here I click on the field and relationship option that is given on the left side, so I can create up the new field. So here it's take me to the page where I will get the list of all the fields that are in Salesforce, and for creating up the new field we have here a new button on the top. I click on that new button, and it's take us to the page where we need to choose up which kind of the field we want to create. And as I told you, these functions are a part of the formula field type, so we need to click on the formula by clicking on the radio button, and next we need to click on the next button, and it will take us to the page where we need to choose up the output type and set up the field label name. So as I want to calculate the order production, here I enter the field label as a order production here, and the field name get automatically populated because it act as a API, and it automatically populated based upon the field label. The next thing you need to choose up the return type for that formula, and here you can set it to be any numeric data type, and I want to be the result in a number data type, so I click on the radio button next to it, and here it decimal point set to 2 by default, and if you want to change it you can do that. Otherwise you need to click on the next button to proceed to the next step. Once you move to the next step, it will take you to the page where you can enter the formula that compute the round of a number up to the nearest integer, and we will use a ceiling function for that. So if you want to use any function, you can see that on the right side we have a function category, and here it gives the different categories for the function, and as you know that it is a mathematical function, you need to click on the math, and it will give you the result of all the mathematical function that are a part of Salesforce formula field, and you need to choose up the functions that you want, and after selecting the function you need to click on the insert selected function button given downwards, and the function automatically get inserted to the formula editor. And if you want to replace the parameter with the inserted field, you need to click on the insert field button given on the top, and here it will gives you the field. You simply need to select it and click on the insert button to add it, and to insert any operator you can click on this insert operator drop down box, and it will gives you the all the operators that are in Salesforce, you can use it. So as I want to calculate the round of a number for the order production by using the ceiling function, so I create a formula for that. So let's enter my formula first, then I will explain you. So here I enter up my formula. I took up the ceiling function from this math function category, and it is a function that rounds up to the nearest integer away from 0 if it is a negative, and here I pass two fields, that is a demand order and the unit size, and I also use a operator as a division. So to check that it is a correct or not, so I simply click on the check syntax button. If there is any error, it will produce an error, otherwise it show that there is no error in my formula. Here you can see that there is a no syntax error in it. So let's understand what we are doing this. Here we are calculating the order production by using a demand order and the number of a unit size, and for that we divide the demand order field by the unit size field value, and then we calculate the nearest integer value by passing the result of these division to the ceiling function. And next we also have a option to add a description and help text. If you want to add that, you can add it, and if you want to handle the blank fields, you can also handle it. It specify what happened to the formula output when there is a no value or there is a blank value in the resultant field. And we can treat it in a two ways. Either you can treat it as a 0 or as a blank value. Now I click on the next button and proceed to the next step. When I click on the next button, it will take me to the step where we need to establish the field level security. Here we need to set up the profile to which we want to grant the edit access of this field, and the field will be hidden from all the profile if we do not add this field to the field level security. Here some of the profiles are already checked and some are unchecked. If you want to grant the access, you can check these check boxes given next to that profile, and if you want to give the access to all the profile, you can simply need to click on the visible checkbox that is given on the top. And after making all such things, you need to click on the next button to proceed to the next step. And in this next step, you need to set up the page layout, where you need to select the page layout that should include this field, and this field will be added as the last field in the first two column section of these page layout, and the field will not appear on any page if you don't want to select it. Here we have only one page layout and by default it is selected, so I don't want to unselect it. So I simply click on the save button to complete my formula in which I use the ceiling function, and once I complete it, it will take me back to the field and relationship page. That means my formula is successfully created. Now let's check whether it is working or not. So here I click on the gear icon and open one more setup to check that how it's working. So let's open an app launcher, and here I search for the item order, or you can say order object, anything you can say that. So here I search, and under the items I get a order, so I simply click on that, and it will take me to the page where I will get the list of all the orders that are present in the Salesforce, or we can create up a new orders also. So let's edit one of this order to check how it's working or not. So here I am editing this order. So there is some technical issue in the background, so it will not working. So but in your case, you can edit it and do that calculation, and you will get the resultant thing as per the ceiling function. In my case, there is a administrator backend problem, nothing else. It doesn't mean that the function or a formula is not working. It is perfectly fine and it's working accurately, but due to some backend issue, it's not giving you the result. So now let's proceed and see how you can use the ceiling function in the Salesforce Classic. So for that, we firstly need to redirect ourselves to the Classic interface. So I click on my profile and click on the switch to a Classic interface. It will take me to the Classic interface of a Salesforce, and it will take us to the main home page. And once you redirect, we need to click on the main setup that is given on the top side, and we click on this setup option. It will take to the Classic setup page, and once you reach that, you need to scroll down, and on the left side we have a build section, and here under we have a customize drop down. We need to expand it and search for the object on which you want to apply the ceiling function. It will gives you only the standard objects here. If you want to apply on the custom object, you can go with the create drop down and choose up your custom object on which you want to apply. I will show you the example for the camping as I want to calculate the budget. So here I click on the camping drop down and it's expand. Here I get the fields option, so I click on that. Once I click on that, it will gives me the list of all the fields that are in a Salesforce, either it is a standard one or the custom one. So for creating up the new custom field, it will have a section of a camping custom field and relationship downwards. So I move down and click on the new button. It will start creating up the process of a new field in the camping object. So here it asks me to specify the type of information that I want to store, as I want to use up the function. So I choose up the formula 1 by clicking on the radio button, and then I click on the next button to proceed. And once I click on the next, it will take me to the step where I need to enter up the field label and choose up the formula return type. So here I enter the label as a camping budget, and you all know that this field name is act as a API, and it get automatically populated based upon the field label that we have added. If you want to change, you can also change that. And next thing is we need to choose up the formula return type according to my requirement. I am calculating the budget, so budget always return in the currency, so I choose the currency as a numeric data type, and by default it decimal point set to the 2. If you want to change that, you can do that. Otherwise you need to click on the next button and proceed. Now in the next step we need to establish the formula, or you can say you can establish the advanced formula that use the ceiling function to calculate the nearest integer value of the rounded number. So in our case we want to calculate the round off value for the camping budget, for the camping event. So for that we are going to use of the ceiling function. As I told you, on the right side we have a function category, and this ceiling function is one of the mathematical function. I click on the maths, and from the list of the function I choose of the ceiling, so I select it on, and then I click on the insert selected function. It get automatically inserted to the formula detail box. Now here we need to replace the parameters, so here I change it with the inserted field, and I want to insert the total budget as a field. So I search for the field by click on the insert field button, and here I choose up the total budget and then click on the insert. I also want to insert operator, so I click on that, and here I want a multiplication operator. I insert it, and after that I insert one more field, that is a allocation percentage. So I choose that field and click on the insert, and here it successfully enter up my formula. Now to check whether it is working correctly or not, I click on the check syntax button. If there is a no error, it will produce that there is a no syntax error as a notification, so I get that. So let's understand what we are doing in this formula. So here we are calculating the camping budget using the ceiling function, you all know that. And here we firstly multiply the value of the field that produced by the total budget by the allocation percentage value, and we pass it to the ceiling function to get the round off value. And you can also give the description and help text, and even if you want to handle the blank fields you can handle it. Otherwise you need to click on the next function button to proceed to the next step. And once I move to the next step, it will take me to the page where I can handle the field level security. Here I can select the profiles to which I want to grant the edit access of this field, or for doing that we need to check the check boxes for the visible column that is given for this particular profile. Some of the profiles are already checked and some of the unchecked. If you want to grant the access, you need to check that profiles, and if you want to revoke that access, you need to uncheck that. And after doing such settings, you need to click on the next button, and it will take you to the page where you need to choose up the page layout on which you want to include that feed. And here is only one page layout that is by default selected. If you don't select any page layout, the field will not appear, so it's very mandatory that you select up the page layout. Otherwise you need to customize these things later on as per your requirements. So I click on the save button to complete the process of creating the formula field of the function that is a ceiling function. Now let's check it's working correctly or not, and for this I click on the camping object from the tabs. Here I click on the plus tab, and from here I going to search for the camping. So here let's search for the camping as a object, and this is the camping object. I click on that, it will take me to the list of the campings that are already here in a Salesforce, or you can also create a new one to check that. But I'm going to test something, so I am going to edit any one of them. So I click on the edit button, and it will take me to the edit page of that particular camping. So we have created up the two fields, that is a total budget. So let's enter the some random value in it to check it. So I enter allocation percentage, I enter also. So here I enter that this allocation percentage field must be a percentage or the number type, it depends upon your requirement. So here let's check what is the result for that, and once I click on the save button, you can see that it gives a budget here in the USD. So with this we have successfully learned how we can use the ceiling function in Salesforce Classic. So with this our topics end here about ceiling function in Salesforce. So if you like this video, click on the like button and also subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Thanking you for watching and have a great day.